Asterisk, the story continues from the uncertain place where the previous episode left us. A relationship under pressure, a person weighed down by accusations, and two hearts separated by the thin line that divides trust from doubt. 57 presents all of this with calm clarity. There are no sudden twists today, no loud confrontations, only circumstances, and the quiet truths that are often drowned out by noise. Asterisk, Mahira sits alone, deep in thought. Her silence isn't a sign of defeat. It's simply the exhaustion of someone who has carried a burden longer than she expected. The accusations against her do not define her, but the weight of misunderstanding is visible. She knows the truth has its own strength, yet truth does not always rise quickly in an environment filled with assumptions. Her eyes show a calm resilience. She is not fighting people. She is only facing the consequences of what people choose to believe. Asterisk on the other side. Arif is seated among his family, yet mentally far from them. His family wants clarity in the form of distance. They believe stepping away is the safest choice. Their argument is simple. Trust does not survive where accusations exist. But Arif isn't convinced. He listens, but he isn't ready to adopt their certainty. He remembers that trust never breaks in one moment. It weakens through many unanswered questions. Today, those very questions are being directed at him, and he knows he must respond with more than emotion. Asterisk, as the episode progresses, Mahira meets someone who is widely considered the root of her troubles. The meeting is calm. No raised voices, no dramatic confrontation. Mahira simply asks whether anyone ever tried to confirm the rumors that were spread about her. Her question is not confrontational. It is an attempt to understand how narratives form. The simplicity of her voice makes the moment stronger. Was truth ever sought, or was noise accepted as truth? Asterisk, a character who had remained in the background for several episodes, finally steps forward. He reveals that the accusations against Mahira were based on incomplete information. He himself had witnessed details that were never shared. His statement is brief, but its implication is significant. For the first time in a while, the story shifts slightly toward clarity, though no conclusion is offered yet. Asterisk Arif finds himself reflecting on his past. He remembers how his bond with Mahira formed, how they supported each other through earlier challenges, and how trust once existed naturally between them. These memories do not serve as emotional flashbacks. They ground his decision. When a person is torn, they often look back at what once made sense. For Arif, those memories are tied to Mahira. Asterisk, the narrative takes a thoughtful turn as it explores social pressure. Rumors, assumptions, and society's tendency to choose convenience over truth all shape the environment the characters are trapped in. The episode presents this without exaggeration. Mahira stands firm, not because she is unaffected, but because she recognizes that she cannot control the noise around her. Her patience is being tested, not her honesty. Asterisk, Arif, and Mahira eventually meet. Their conversation is brief but meaningful. Arif does not accuse her. He simply asks a direct question. Did you do the things people are saying you did? Mahira's response is steady. She says she has already spoken the truth. Now, it is up to him to decide whether he actually listened or only pretended to listen. There is no anger in her voice, only clarity. This exchange becomes the emotional center of the episode not because of intensity, but because of the honesty it carries. Asterisk, small hints appear throughout the rest of the episode suggesting that the accusations might not be as strong as they originally seemed. Some details were misunderstood. Some were assumed. Some were never verified. But the episode carefully avoids offering any final statement. Instead, it chooses subtlety. Answers may be approaching, but not yet. Asterisk Arif continues to wrestle with the conflict inside him. To him, the situation is no longer about public opinion. It is about the difference between what is said and what is real. One path suggests safety, distance, simplicity, acceptance of what the world believes. The other path suggests courage, questioning assumptions, protecting something meaningful, risking being misunderstood. Neither is easy, but the episode shows that Arif is slowly understanding the weight of choosing convenience over truth. Asterisk, the tone in the final minutes becomes quieter and more introspective. Mahira stands by the window, watching life move outside. The world is restless, but she has found a certain inner stillness. It doesn't come from knowing the outcome. It comes from accepting that truth has its own timing. She doesn't rush it. She only trusts it. Garf sits alone, lost in thought. He hasn't reached a decision, but his hesitation now carries a different quality, less avoidance, more consideration. He is no longer simply reacting to accusations. He is beginning to consider the value of what he might lose if he walks away too easily. The episode closes with a delicate balance. The audience sees enough to question the validity of the accusations, yet not enough to reach their own conclusion. The episode intentionally leaves the story open because this phase of the narrative is about reflection, not resolution. This chapter of the story quietly reminds us that relationships are not sustained by emotion alone. They survive through decisions made in difficult moments when doubt is louder than reassurance. And when the people involved must choose whether to defend the truth or surrender to pressure, trust becomes most meaningful when it is tested, not when it is easy. As the episode ends, we see two people standing at a crossroads. Not dramatically, but realistically. Mahira holds her ground with quiet strength. Arif struggles internally, but with sincerity. And the truth, though not fully revealed, begins to show its first signs of emerging. What comes next may bring answers, or it may bring new questions. But one thing becomes clear. The story has reached a point where every choice carries weight, and every hesitation reveals something deeper. Episode 57 leaves us with calm anticipation, reminding us that truth may take time, but it rarely stays hidden forever.